student, welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's start with the first video from the lesson number 1, the third level, written by Jack Finney. Before talking about the third level, let me ask some questions from you. These questions are, have you ever heard the name of any scientist across the world? Have you ever heard the name of any doctor? And have you ever heard the name of any poet across the world? जिन्होंने अपनी नींद के दौरान देखे हुए ड्रीम्स के बेस पे सफलता प्राप्त की हो? Is there any? Let's talk about डॉक्टर कि डॉक्टर ने अपनी नींद के दौरान देखे हुए ड्रीम्स में भी कैसे वो एक्सपेरिमेंट हुआ था उसको रियल लाइफ में अप्लाई करने की कोशिश करते हैं. एस्टॉनिशिंग दैट वाज कि वो उसमें सफल हो जाते हैं. इट वाज अनबिलीवेबल. सेम थिंग इज विद द साइंटिस्ट कि साइंटिस्ट अपने ड्रीम में कुछ इन्वेंशन को, कुछ डिस्कवरी को इमेजिन करते हैं कि ये इस तरह से हुई. ही अप्लाइड सेम हियर इन द रियल लाइफ. एस्टॉनिशिंग एंड सरप्राइजिंगली वो सक्सेसफुल हो जाते हैं. अनबिलीवेबल दैट वाज कि स्वप्न में देखी हुई चीजों के बेस पे रियल लाइफ में उनको अप्लाई करते हैं और वो उसमें सक्सीड हो गए, उसमें सफलता प्राप्त होगी. सेम इज हियर अगेन विद द पोइट कि पोइट अपने ड्रीम में कुछ ब्यूटीफुल लाइंस इमेजिन करते हैं और उसको एक कागज के ऊपर लिखते हैं जो एक ब्यूटीफुल पोइम बनती है, एक नॉवल बनता है और उन्हीं की वजह से उनका नेम एंड फेम है, कई अवार्ड्स तक ले लिए. सो डियर स्टूडेंट, इज देयर एनीथिंग इन योर लाइफ जो दूसरों के लिए अनबिलीवेबल है, जिसपे विश्वास करना दूसरे लोगों के लिए मुश्किल था? Is there anything in your life? Same is here in this lesson which we will try to know in our first lesson. See, stay with me till the end of this video and don't forget to subscribe my channel. See. Have you ever had any curious experience which others find hard to believe? Is there anything in your life जिसकी वजह से दूसरे लोग उस पे विश्वास ना करें? Yes, the same thing is here in this lesson. The presidents of the New York Central and the New York, New Haven and Hartford railroads will swear on a stack of timetables, right? All these presidents can swear on a stack of timetables that there are only 2. What are these 2? But I say there are 3. What are these 3? Because I have been on the third level of the Grand Central Stations. Yes, author said that I have been at the third level of the Grand Central Stations कि मैं तीसरे लेवल से होके गुजरा हूँ. That's why I can say there are 3 levels, not 2. Yes, I have taken the obvious steps. I talked to a psychiatrist friend of mine, among others, right? I talked about, what about? I told him about the third level at Grand Central Station. भी Grand Central Stations के बारे में मैंने अपने psychiatrist friend के साथ साथ अन्य लोगों को भी बताया, उनसे भी बात की. And he said it was a waking dream wish fulfillment. And what is that waking dream wish fulfillment? This is the kind of wish you can fulfill only in your dream, not in the broad daylight. Right? He said I was unhappy. He said कि मैं खुश नहीं था. That made my wife kind of mad. But he explained that he meant the modern world is full of insecurity. He said that जो modern world है वो असुरक्षा, fear, war, worry, tension and so many other things are there. That's why that I just want to escape कि मैं भागना चाहता था इससे. Well, who doesn't? Everybody I know wants to escape. Everybody want to escape from the reality. Everybody want to escape from this tension, security, right? War, fear and tension and all. But they don't wander down into any third level at the Grand Central Stations. The thing is, they didn't get the opportunity to wander down, right? Grand Central Station के तीसरे तह में जाने का उन्हें मौका नहीं मिला. But that's the reason he said that this is the only reason that you want to escape from the reality. My friends all agreed. All my friends were agreed with this statement. Everything points to it. They claim. They said that everything points to it. सभी चीजें इधर इशारा करती थी. My stamp collecting, for example, उदाहरण के लिए मेरा stamp collection. That's a temporary refuge from reality. That can be the temporary refuge to escape from the reality, right? That's for a short time. Well, maybe हो सकता है, but my grandfather didn't need any refuge from reality. परंतु grandfathers को इन चीज़ों से भागने की ज़रूरत नहीं थी. Things were pretty nice and peaceful in his days from all I hear. जहाँ तक मैंने सुना है कि चीज़ें बड़ी अच्छी और peaceful हुआ करती थी उनके टाइम में. And he started my collection. Grandfather ने मेरे लिए collection start किया था. It's a nice collection too, right? बहुत ही अच्छा कलेक्शन है. Blocks of 4 of practically every US issue, first day covers, and so on. Many things were there in our stamp collection. President Roosevelt collected stamps too. Do you know that President Roosevelt collected stamps too? कि वो भी स्टैम्प को कलेक्ट किया करते थे. Anyway, here's what happened at Grand Central Station. Let me tell you that what happened with me at the Grand Central. One night last summer, पिछली ग्रीष्म काल की बात कर रहा है कि one night when I was walked late at the office. I was in a hurry to get uptown to my apartment. जाने की जल्दी थी. So I decided to take the subway from Grand Central Station. इसलिए Grand Central Station से ट्रेन में जाने का निश्चय किया बिकॉज इट्स फास्टर देन द बस, क्योंकि बस की अपेक्षा फास्ट थे. नाउ आई डोंट नो, अब मुझे नहीं मालूम कि बाय दिस शुड हैव हैपेंड टू मी, कि मेरे साथ क्यों होना चाहिए था. आई एम जस्ट एन ऑर्डिनरी गाय, मैं एक साधारण आदमी, नेम चार्ली, 31 years old, एंड आई वाज वेयरिंग ए tan gabardine सूट पहना था, एंड ए straw hat with a fancy band. I passed a dozen men, right, who looked just like me, right? I saw many men, बहुत सारे लोगों को देखा, आदमी को देखा who were looking like me, and I wasn't trying to escape from anything, right? मैं किसी चीज से भागने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा था. I just wanted to get home to Louisa, my wife. मैं तो सिर्फ अपनी वाइफ लुइसा के पास घर जाना चाहता था. I turned into Grand Central from Vanderbilt Avenue. Vanderbilt Avenue से Grand Central Stations की ओर में मुड़ा and went down the steps to the first level. कुछ कदम नीचे उतरकर first level गया, where you take trains like the 20th century की भांति आप यहाँ से ट्रेन ले सकते थे. Then I walked down another flight to the second level. फिर कुछ सीढ़ियां उतरकर second level पे पहुंचा, where the suburban trains leave from. This is the level where suburban उपनगरीय trains निकलती थी. Ducked into an arched doorway heading for the subway, and from there I faced मेहराबदार द्वार which was heading toward the subway, जो कहाँ जा रहा था, भूमिगत ट्रेनें जहाँ से निकलती थी, and got lost, and there I lost my way. That's easy to do. ऐसा करना आसान था. I have been in and out of Grand Central 100 of times. Grand Central Station में in और out करता रहा, आता रहा, घुसता रहा, but I am always bumping into new doorways, कि हमेशा और हर बार मैं नए डोरवे से, नए द्वार से, नए स्टेयर्स से, नई कॉरिडोर्स को फेस करता था. Once I got into a tunnel about a mile long. एक बार मैं 1 मील लंबी टनल में घुस गया. Come out in the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel, और रूजवेल्ट के होटल की लॉबी में बाहर निकला. Another time I came up in an office building on 46th Street 3 blocks away. और एक अन्य बार, दूसरी बार 3 ब्लॉक की दूरी पर 46वीं गली के एक ऑफिस की बिल्डिंग में निकला. Sometimes I think Grand Central is growing like a tree. कभी कभी मुझे लगता है कि Grand Central पेड़ की भांति बढ़ रहा है. And this growing tree is pushing out new corridors and new staircases like roads. कि वो road की भांति नए corridor और staircases को आगे बढ़ा रहा है या push कर रहा है, धकेल रहा है. There's probably a long tunnel that nobody knows about, feeling its way under the city right now. ऐसा प्रतीत होता है कि शहर के नीचे कोई एक लंबी सुरंग है जिसके बारे में कोई नहीं जानता. On its way to Times Square, which is going to the Times Square, and maybe another to the Central Park, और शायद दूसरी सेंट्रल पार्क की ओर जाती है. And maybe because for so many people, क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग through the years, बहुत सालों से Grand Central Station has been an exit and a way of escape. Grand Central Station उनके लिए बाहर जाने का रास्ता रहा है. Maybe that's how, and that was reason, and because of this reason, the tunnel I got into, कि मैं इस टनल में घुस गया था, but I never told my psychiatrist friend about that idea, कि मैंने अपने मनोचिकित्सक फ्रेंड से इस बारे में बात नहीं की. The corridor I was in began angling left and slanting downward, कि जिस कॉरिडोर में मैं अंदर गया था वो बाईं ओर मुड़ना शुरू हो गया और नीचे की ओर तिरछा झुका हुआ था. And I thought that was wrong. मुझे लगा कि वो गलत था, but I kept on walking. परंतु मैं चलता रहा. All I could hear was the empty sound. There was the only empty sound that I could hear there. Only the sound of my own footstep were there. And I did not pass a soul, कि कोई एक भी आदमी वहां से नहीं गुजरा. Then I heard that sort of hollow roar. कुछ इस तरह की आवाजें मैंने फिर सुनी. That means जिसका मतलब था open space. That there is some open space and people talking, that there are some people who were talking. Right? The tunnel turned sharp left. I bent down a short flight of the stair. सीढ़ियों में थोड़ा और नीचे उतरा and came out on the third level at the Grand Central Station और Grand Central Stations की तीसरी सतह पर लेवल पे पहुंच गया. For just a moment I thought, कुछ क्षणों के लिए I thought that I was back on the second level. But I saw the room was smaller. परंतु वहाँ पे रूम छोटे थे. There were fewer ticket windows थे. And the train gates were there. And the information booth in the center. That was made up of wood का बना हुआ था. Old looking था. That was something different than the second and the first level. And the man was in the booth wore a green eye shade. Right? Booth के अंदर बैठा हुआ आदमी ने green shade, eye shade पहने हुए. Not only green eye shade, but also he had put on long black sleeve protectors. The lights were dim, light dim thi, the sort of flickering, झिलमिल आ रही थी. Then I understood why. What was that? They were open flame gas light. वे खुली लौ गैस लाइट से निकलने वाली ज्वाला थी, lights थी. Right? I hope you understood all about the first lecture. There is something unbelievable. Presidents of the Central said that there are only 2 levels, but author said that no, there are 3 levels at the Grand Central Station. Although he talked about this level to his psychiatrist friend said that modern world is full of insecurity, fear, war, worry, stress and tensions. You are not able to fight and face the harsh reality of the world. That's why everything is pointing toward this. Stamp collection is just a temporary refuse to escape from the reality. Otherwise, you have to face the reality of the modern world. But author said that I am a very ordinary person. Right? The incident that happened with me was just the accident one day when I was in my office. I was working, right? I was late to go up to my apartment. So I decided to take train from the subway instead of bus because it was faster than the bus. When I reached at the first level of the Grand Central Station, I saw so many men around me who were looking like me. Right? This was the level where you take trains like 20th century. When I reached at the second level, I saw that this is the level where suburban trains leave from. Afterward, I lost my way. Hundred of times I was in and out at the Grand Central Stations, but every time I faced something new. New staircase, new corridors, new doorways. Once I got into a long tunnel and come out in the lobby of Roosevelt Hotel. Another time I came out in an office building, 46th Street, 3 blocks away. Sometimes it appears that there is a long tunnel under the city right now, which was going toward the Times Square and maybe to the Central Park. There are so many other things like rooms were very smaller. There was something hollow sound. It appears like that there are some people, they were talking, right? There was small cabin. It was made of wooden, right? There were people who had put on their long sleeve protectors, green eye shades, and the lights were dim, and it was flickering, and so many other things are there. Everything you will know in my second video. Stay with me. Let's discuss some short questions from the lesson. The first one is, who said that there are 3 levels at the Grand Central Stations? Author said that there are 3 levels at the Grand Central Station because I have been on the 3rd level at the Grand Central Station. Why did author want to escape from the reality? Answer to this question is very beautiful. Author want to escape from the reality because he think that modern world is full of insecurity, fear, war, worry, and stress, and he want temporary refuge from the reality, and the world is not suitable place to live in at all. What did author say about the tunnel that nobody knows about? He said that there is a tunnel under the city right now on its way to Times Square and maybe another to Central Park, and maybe because for so many people through the years Grand Central has been an exit, a way of escape. Maybe that's how the tunnel I got into. How did author get the idea that he was at the 3rd level at the Grand Central Stations? There were so many things to see, and there were so many things to know about the 3rd level, right? He could hear the sort of hollow roar ahead, that means open space and people talking. And there were rooms
which was smaller in size, the fewer ticket windows, train gates, information booth in the center, and that was wooden and old looking. Man in the booth wore a green eye shade and long black sleep protectors. The lights were dim and sort of flickering, which was sufficient to know that he was at the third level of the Grand Central Station.